Good afternoon, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching, and it is appreciated as always. This is my quick out of the cinema review for The Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright. This is not a remake of the 1987 Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle. This is an adaptation of the same book. On the record, I love the original Running Man movie. I'm an 80s kid, and it's on my top 3 of the Arnie movies. Number 1 being Terminator and number 2 being Predator, but Running Man's my third favourite. The remake is quite well paced and it is quite well acted. I've always been a fan of Glenn Powell. I think he's good. He was very good in Anyone But You, and he was very good in Top Gun Maverick as well a few years ago. So the cast is good, the writing is sharp, and the action is kinetic when you get it. A lot of people think that The Hunger Games, that came out a few years ago, was derivative of Battle Royale, which is a Japanese movie from the early 2000s. Running Man came first. Now, some people going into this movie may be disappointed because they're thinking it's a remake of the original movie, much like what happened with Tim Burton's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. They thought it was a remake of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, and they didn't realise it was completely separate and an adaptation of the same source material, which is the same predicament that this movie is in. It does appear to be struggling at the box office. The first 2 acts were really strong, really solid. It does kind of go off the rails in the last 30 minutes or so, and it is about 30 minutes too long. It could have been tightened up, it could have been cleaned up a little bit as well in the post-production. But I had a good time, for the most part. Me personally, if you have a good first act and a good second act, but you don't stick to landing, that's much easier to forgive than if you've got a rocky start and then you've got a good second and third act. It's much easier to forgive failures in the third act than it is to forgive them at the beginning. So those are my thoughts. I'd give it a 7 out of 10, 4 out of 5. I still prefer the original movie, that is. I've not actually read the original book, but I'd recommend it. Just temper your expectations and be wary of that third act. So if you like this video, give me a like, subscribe and share. I'm a fan of Edgar Wright, and you've got to support the British filmmakers, but this is one of his weaker movies, so these are just my comments and feelings. Have a good day.